By George, I think I've got it.
Hybrothetical Thinking.
I saw that Bigfoot walking across the screen and I thought to myself, wow, they are real.
I ask us all, is that really reasonable?
Hybrothetical Thinking.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
And show you a little of the evidence.
Hybrothetical Thinking.
Researchers at Stanford University School of Medicine have pioneered a cancer vaccine that eliminated all traces of cancer in mice.
You could find evidence of that, my friends. You could change the world.
Hybrothetical Thinking, a podcast for the hypothetical thinker.
Greetings, travelers, and welcome to Hybrothetical Thinking, a semi-informative podcast that explores the journey from probability to possibility. It's sort of like the Appalachian Trail. My name is Nick Floyd, and I'm joined by my co-hosts,
Taylorius.
John Orius.
So the way this works is that either Taylor or myself will do the research for our weekly episodes, and Jonathan goes into every episode completely blind, meaning he has no idea what we're covering.
Never do.
Ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
Ever.
He knows nothing about nothing, anyways, and I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know that from 9 episodes so far, he doesn't know shit about shit.
That's true. True fact right there.
Except for like weird things.
Just like random facts that nobody cares about. I'll know those things, but everything else, common knowledge, street smarts, nope.
That's what he Googles. He Googles things that no one cares about, but I should know.
Yeah, things that absolutely no one else knows, except for whoever posted this on Wikipedia.
Did you know Shakira was born November 9th, 1987?
I posted it on Wikipedia. That's a
Is she really?
fact.
Am I older than Shakira?
What? No, I don't know when she was born. You think I know that?
I know.
Johnny, when was Shakira born?
I'm going to say 1978.
I want a full birthday.
I don't think
I want
so,
a full
man.
birthday.
I'm going to say...
1983.
I'm going to say 1981.
Johnny, give me a full birthday. Like month, day, year.
All right, I'm going to say
Go.
March 13th.
Oh, dude, that was so close to what I was going to say.
March 13th, 1983.
No. February 2nd, 1977. She's 41.
I told you it was 70.
41?
Yeah, Shakira's hips
Wow.
still don't lie after
Oh, dude,
They'll
not
never
41
lie.
years.
Should we dance in when she's 80? She'll be like,
That's crazy.
Hey, Sonny, these hips don't lie.
Well, give us some random fun fact. Something that I don't know, something Nick doesn't know.
I will. I'll tell a fun fact that the audience doesn't know, but I will say it just because you guys had to know this fact. The reason why grass is greener after a lightning storm is because nitrogen is released in an electronic discharge in the atmosphere. Not a rainstorm, but a thunderstorm. The same chemical nitrogen is in fertilizer. This chemical essentially is like steroids to organic matter. Not us humans, but like life, like plants and trees and those kind of stuff, like grass. So after a lightning storm, falling from the sky is essentially fertilizer. That's why grass is greener after a lightning storm.
Fucking dope. So if it's raining, I guess it's like less falls. It kind of dilutes it.
No.
It doesn't matter.
If it's just raining, it's just water. But the lightning discharge in the sky, whatever there's a word I'm missing here, it creates nitrogen.
Johnny still falls asleep to Bill Nye the Science Guy, so that's how he knows all this useless shit.
I loved that show.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
All right, Taylor, you got anything in news?
We got some news, dude.
Bill.
Got kind of a fun one. We're gonna throw a callback here. This dude uses augmented reality to recreate a famous movie scene.
Wow.
What?
Now you ask yourself, why would you need augmented reality to create any movie scene? It's already a
reality.
Movie. Yeah, sorry, it's like what?
Yeah.
What? So this dude, tech designer Abhishek Singh, he's known for his creative use of technology, used augmented reality to recreate the frightening scene in The Ring, where the girl Samara crawls through the TV.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it like continues to chase him around.
He wants that to happen?
Well, he created it, yeah.
So he recreated in this
But it's all in his phone.
It's all on his phone. Yeah, it's cool. I watched a video of it, and it's like he's got like a big old TV set up, like in his office, living room, whatever. Big old TV, and it starts out like just like The Ring. It's the scene from The Ring, and he's I guess filming it with a cell phone. He's like backing away, and just like in the movie, she crawls right the fuck out of the TV.
Right the fuck out.
Yeah, she stands up and looks all crazy and shit, and then starts walking towards him. So he walks away. You know, he even walks into another room.
And she follows him.
Yeah, and like tracks him all the way down the hallway, turns a corner, looks right at him. It's crazy.
Does he die 7 days later?
He dies at the end of the video.
That's not how it
she
works,
gets to
though.
him, and it's like, buzz.
Dead. Could you imagine, like, movie theaters? Like, you buy a ticket to a movie, you sit down, you pull your phone out, you point it at the screen, and then something, like, happens, and then you have to get up and leave the theater and continue like living in the
experience?
movie. Yeah, with
Ooh.
with
Oh
AR
my
on your
gosh.
phone.
Holy shit, that'd be cool.
I think it's like a QR
Right?
code. You essentially scan the screen, and then you have that information on your phone, that data, and
Yeah.
you can become part of that universe.
Well, you wouldn't even need it. There would just be like a little, when you walk into the theater, there'd be like a hub that would recognize your phone.
Wow.
And then once you're in the theater, you're in that experience. And then
Yeah.
you point your phone at the screen, things happen, then you have to get up and like walk out. So it's like an
Kinda-
alien invasion.
Use the augmented reality to find the clues and stuff, figure out how the hell am I getting out of here, or whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
That'd be cool as hell.
If any of you listeners steal that idea, I will find you.
Yeah, we're already in the form of copywriting that, so get the fuck off our ideas.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Well, that's rad.
Super cool,
Yeah,
man.
kind of cool, yeah.
Is this technology going to be used for other things, or?
Nice little tidbit.
It's going to be used for all sorts of things, namely to recreate this reality that we're living in and to just spawn a new civilization where that civilization would spawn a simulation and the cycle would continue. So, yeah, this is just another link in the chain that is, they're just continuing what has already been done since we are currently in a simulation that was created in a similar way.
Damn.
That was mind-blowing.
That's tight.
So, I got another short little tidbit that's going to be a callback here from a previous episode.
Oh, 2 callbacks in
You
one.
just called back.
This is gonna make some people happy. This one's fucking tight. Okay. I don't know if Google or Facebook is just like monitoring my mind and my thoughts, but this company, Safe Haven Marine, has released a boat, and they've got world speed records. They've got apparently it's the first boat to circumnavigate Ireland. Which
What?
I'm like, I didn't dig deeper into that. they got the world record for circumventing Ireland.
What's
And
circumventing?
it's not necessarily super fast.
Circumnavigating like around.
Yeah, go around it.
Oh,
Yeah.
tight.
I guess one of the things about it is it's like fucking really choppy or something. I don't know. But the thing about this boat, right? The thing about this boat, it is you cannot capsize it.
What?
It flips over.
At all?
It still works?
Yeah, it looks just like a speedboat, like a giant speedboat.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it flips over, it just rolls over and boom, rolls back over.
So
You cannot.
the center of gravity is always going to be in the water. So when it flips over,
Yeah.
that just
It's gonna right itself.
wants to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So very technological boat. It's got all these stats on here about what kind of motor it uses and shit like that. Obviously, me and Nick don't give two shits about what that is. We're going to assume Johnny already knows all the specs for this motor.
Yep.
And we're going to skip over that dumb stuff.
He's our resident car guy.
How many liters
Also
is the engine?
clumped into being a boat guy.
So aside from all that stuff, man, this boat has all kinds of technology on it. It's got like infrared. It's got all the radars. It's got like all the newest technologies, right?
Damn.
And then you're asking yourself, Taylor, what does this have to do with fucking anything? We haven't really talked about boats too much. But then you say, Taylor, what's the name of this boat?
Oh.
What's the name of this boat, Taylor?
The name of this motherfucker is Thunderchild.
What?
Thunderchild. And I don't know if you guys remember,
I know.
take a step back. We had a pretty sweet conversation about a technological boat piloted by Terry the Hulk Hogan called
Oh.
Thunder.
Oh, shit.
Thunder in Paradise. And if you look at pictures of this boat, it looks a lot like Thunder from Thunder in Paradise.
Movie.
Fucking crazy. Yeah. Like a real life Thunder in Paradise right here in front of our eyes.
This
And
is
it's
from-
called Thunder.
This is from 370 Malaysian. That was the callback you're talking about?
If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't remember.
But
But I know that we talked about A, Terror the Hulk Hogan, and B, Thunder in Paradise and how dope it is. And I did a little research on Thunder in Paradise to clear up the, I thought maybe it was just a one movie and a TV series. It was actually a whole TV series and like 3 or 4 movies. So.
there were 3 or 4 of them?
Yeah, it was like, it started out as the movie, straight to VHS, and it turned out to be like such a hit that, boom, started a series.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
It's really good, man. It's really good.
I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to watch it. Find Thunder
Yeah.
in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise. If you're curious about what this Thunderchild boat looks like, just watch Thunder in Paradise. Boom,
Is it,
got it.
is it a similar boat? Or no?
Dude, it looks so similar. I mean, yeah, the thing is, it's called Thunder. This boat's called Thunder. They're both about stealth technology. Like, this boat was made to be like a military boat.
This one can't capsize.
The special thing about this is it cannot
Well,
capsize.
technically,
Yeah.
Did Thunder in Paradise capsize?
Technically, it can capsize.
I don't know. I don't know if that was one of its specs. Well, I don't know what capsize. What's the definition of capsize? I don't know.
Just when it turns over.
turns
Like I've capsized kayaks, but I can auto-correct that. That's the wrong way.
Resident boat guy over here.
Resident boat guy.
Yeah, he knows
We
his
got a-
shit.
We got a vehicle guy here.
Yeah, he's just resident vehicle
The
guy.
average boat will obviously have a problem with its capsize.
So maybe the
Not
record
Thunderchild.
about the record for circumnavigating Ireland, maybe it has something to do with speed and like other boats can't do it because of all the choppiness and waves. Like this thing, it like cuts right through waves and shit, just like slices them.
It's like an icebreaker, just like like Moses. Be
Get
gone.
out of the way. Be gone.
Be gone. I can like see.
Oh man, that just reminded me. What movie am I thinking of? Be Gone with Sean William Scott and somebody else, Tweeter from Varsity Blues, and it's a wrestling movie.
I don't know it.
And they have to go find their favorite wrestler who's like gone into retirement, and that wrestler is based off Jerry the King Lawler's guy, so he's the king, and his thing is "King Me," and his saying is "Be gone, be gone."
Taylor,
awesome movie.
We should turn the podcast into a drinking game. Every time Taylor mentions the plot of an obscure '90s movie, you gotta
that contains professional wrestling
and
in
I'll
any way.
pass out at the end.
Yep.
Like
That's pretty good.
resident lightweight over here.
Resident lightweight vehicle guy.
I'm not a boat guy. If I am a lightweight first, I'm a car guy second, and a boat guy last. All I know is that boats are holes in the water. Don't buy them because they are a waste of money. You don't want to own a boat. You want to own a friend who owns a boat.
Give me an example.
Yeah, like honestly, like you'll put all this money into a boat. This is a little factoid. So let's say your car is like 30 miles to the gallon. A boat is like 30 gallons to the mile. That's a little extreme, but like they are so hard to propel through water because obviously water is a lot thicker than air, and so moving a boat through water is a lot harder than moving a car through air on a road. Long story short, running a boat is so expensive. Water leakage, maintenance, like sun damage, all these things are so expensive. You don't want to own a boat. You don't have a friend who owns a boat.
Yeah, they say boat stands for bust out another 1,000.
Oh, I didn't know that. Resident boat guy over here. Resident abbreviation guy over here.
Yeah, he knows his abbreviations. I think we need to do a listener poll and see, is Johnny also a boat guy?
Also, is Johnny full of shit? Because a lot of the facts I say, besides the thunder, a lot of these facts I say in the show could be very off.
Yeah.
They're what I think, not what I know.
Check out a poll on our Facebook page. It's going to be live right now. Is Johnny a boat guy? Yes, no, and I don't fucking know. We're just going to be three options.
Fucking care.
For a guy who is a boat guy, you care quite a bit.
I don't think I care.
Johnny's like that 12-year-old rebel kid in school who you're like, hey, man, your shoelaces don't match. It's like, I don't care.
Whatever, I don't do my hair either.
Yeah, whatever.
I wore the shirt like all week.
Bob the Builder was like 6 weeks ago, bro. Why are you wearing a Bob the Builder shirt? I don't care.
Bro, you got dried milk all over your face.
I don't
Out of my
care.
life.
Yeah.
Same for later.
You stinky kid in class, weren't you?
I don't think so.
I feel like you flipped a 180. Like you were the stinky kid in class who was always disheveled, like messed up, never had a haircut.
Yeah, I definitely. When I was a kid, I grew my hair out to like afro size because I had curly hair, afro size, and then just shave it all off.
That is badass.
If I had curly hair at all, I would have grown an afro.
No, it was like
had it my whole life.
down to my chin, kind of like I pull it down to my chin, and so I just shave it every like once a year. My dad would just like eight buzz it. But so I guess you're right. I don't know if I would say I stunk.
Man,
I definitely grew.
Mr. Clark, was Johnny the stinky kid? Because I think he's pulled a 180 and like he's so kempt now because he was a stinky kid, so he had to flip it.
But he just didn't care. It's like, Johnny, like, where's some deodorant? I don't care.
I don't care about you.
I don't care.
You don't care.
Your homework's due. I don't care.
Yeah, I definitely had that opinion. Definitely had that opinion.
Little PSA announcement. Kids, do your homework.
Yeah, please do your homework, and you could wind up like us.
Yeah, because we always did our homework.
Always did our
Well,
homework.
the two guys here who study, we did our homework.
Yeah. The people who do the research do research for a reason because they're smart. I don't.
We do our homework every episode. Every episode. There's lots of homework.
So am I the jock that just takes your guys' notes and like gets an A on the test because I like have you around?
No, you never get A's on the test.
Yeah, you're also the soccer player, so I don't know if you can qualify as the jock.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, shots fired. I
Shots fired.
apologize, ACLU. I did not mean that in any
hurt
way.
my feelings, you dick.
ACLU, I want to support you guys in any way that I can. Sorry, soccer's cool.
Yeah, I'd rather be called a field fair than jumping on a bunch of dudes in tight pants.
Hitting each other?
Yeah, hitting each other like Mach 5 getting concussions. Hell yeah, that's awesome.
It is pretty fucking awesome.
That's a dark thing to say.
No, okay.
Yeah, man,
I don't care.
Dude, brain damage is a big deal right now.
Yeah, I saw that Will Smith
concussion
movie.
sports, man.
Yeah, I
that's a
agree,
big
and I
deal.
think it's stupid. I don't think we should have such a. Well, I'm not going to go that far. I just think we shouldn't have so much like glory for a sport that's so fucking dangerous.
Well, the only problem with that is if we take all that away, then we're gonna have to take their dollars away. Like they're gonna have to get paid.
Yeah, I agree.
Very, very low. Like
that's the incentive.
Almost just what I would get paid doing whatever it is that I would do.
Right.
Like
they get paid to get
like
hurt.
a minimum wage. Yeah, they get paid because they're taking the risk.
That's
and
the
it's not fair to
incentive.
people who don't have that body type, who are so hella skilled that would be waxing these fools all up and down the field, but they have a size
that
difference.
you?
Fuck yeah, it's me. I want to fucking wax these assholes all over the field if I wasn't tiny and weak.
Taylor's not tiny. He's actually a jock. He's a mongrel little person.
Tiny one who can't compete because these guys are so big. Yeah, that's a problem. So if they're not out there risking their lives, we have to take their dollars away because they don't deserve to be in that position because there could be so many more people in that position.
Well, but that's the thing is other sports don't have that aggression. They get paid more. Like, do you understand?
Dude, NFL players get paid like
They get paid more than
the top.
anybody.
Yeah, top.
I heard. I could be wrong.
They get paid more than rugby players, and rugby players beat the shit out of each other.
I agree. But no, so you're saying a football that they beat each other, but like rugby is worse. Well, I'm saying soccer and football in England. And Paul Pogba, the French midfield, got paid hundreds of millions of dollars for a contract, just a 3-year contract.
Okay, well, my boy Matty Ice just signed the largest NFL contract in NFL history. I believe it was $150 million for
nothing.
like 5 years.
That's nothing. $300 million for like 2 seasons.
That's a lot of money.
And that's for a sport that you fall on purpose. So I the context out of the
basketball's a sport where you fall on purpose. You know what I'm saying? LeBron.
Like LeBreezy. I see what you're saying. That's a big contract. And I bet you there are probably several bigger contracts
easily
in soccer. But I would have to look. We'd have to look this up and see if like the average salary is probably higher. In
I'm just saying. I don't think contact has as much to roll or as much influence on money as just like the environment that they're playing around. You know, like it's the world sport. It's the American sport.
Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to check the television ratings.
Like
the
people die
the
doing
Super
NASCAR.
Bowl. Well, yeah, the Super Bowl gets the ratings though. It's the highest ratings out of fucking anything.
Pretty sure the World Cup is the highest rating.
Resident soccer guy over here.
Resident
Car
soccer
guy,
guy?
boat guy, soccer guy.
I'm pretty sure the World Cup final is the most watched television broadcasting thing in the world ever, every single year, every single 4 years.
You're on the wrong podcast. Joe Rogan, we got a new co-host for you. We'll trade him.
Apparently he likes soccer, so if you're going to do a lot of soccer episodes.
I like soccer, I guess.
Yeah, but he likes soccer, but he's not going to support the number one soccer team in all existence, ATL United.
It's not your MLS, dude. That's not the best.
Number one soccer team.
Are you in the Champions League? No, you're not. You're not in the UEFA Cup. You're not in.
Well, we're not in the league. We can't even compete.
If I got to hear him talking about soccer for 5 more minutes, I'm going to flip this motherfucking table. Let's jump into today's episode, damn it.
Is it about Atlanta United?
It is.
Atlanta United
actually.
is not that great. They're a good team for the MLS.
Atlanta United, Johnny does not represent the podcast's opinion on Atlanta United as a team.
For the MLS, they're great, but they're not a great team. They're also new.
We're apologizing for him because he's not going to do it himself. We're sorry, Atlanta United. We're sorry, all Atlanta fans.
Okay.
We're sorry to our listeners because we're going to change our fucking genre to sports now, thanks to Johnny.
Last week we switched it to the Ocho, so I guess we're there.
We are. We're
the Ocho.
Today's podcast, just like last week's podcast, is brought to you by GLORP Gum. If you guys want to buy an amazing piece of gum and also get a free t-shirt with it, you can do that right now. The gum is delicious and the t-shirt is dope as hell. We have an offer code. You can go over to glorpgum.com and type in the code I'm a Broliever, I''M space A space Broliever, BROLIVER, and you can save 15% on an order of $20 or more, which is friggin' sweet. I got to come down from all that.
That's fun.
I want to know what this podcast is about. Well, I want the listeners to know, and I want Johnny to know, but I know.
He knows.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a doozy. It was going through a lot of different options, and then this one just hit me. It came to me in the night.
Hit him like a big old linebacker.
It was an episphany. Also, Johnny's wearing sunglasses right now, and I can't tell who he's looking at.
I'm looking at you.
All right.
Sorry.
With his right eye.
It's very.
I don't know. I just I wanted to wear sunglasses, so I'm doing it.
Johnny's a reptile person. He can make one eye go one way and one eye go another way.
Like the Zuckerman. I'm a lizard person.
Zuckerman?
Did I say Zuckerberg? Whatever. Mark the Zuck. He's a lizard person.
Hey, that's for another podcast. That one's coming. Don't you worry.
We're not trying to get our Facebook page shut down.
Oh, man.
All right, well, here we go. Let's dive into today's episode that I was hoping would provide more humor for the darkness that we provided the listeners with for the last 3 episodes, but it's not.
It's dark again.
We're getting probably the darkest I think we've gotten so far.
Can't go darker than this.
I wear a lot of black clothing, Nick, so I'm ready for the darkness. Bring it on. And I do believe in a thing called love.
All I was born in the darkness.
I was born in the darkness.
That was without your hand. That was
I
impressive.
was made by the darkness.
That's just coming out of his mouth.
And that's the only line I know. So if you say another line, I can say another one.
Oh, just barely. I forgot. I haven't even watched the movie.
There's something related to Batman.
I'm in a stadium right now. Let's party. Darkness.
Here we go. I see a little silhouette of a man.
Scaramouche.
Can I see the Vendando?
Thunderbolt and lightning.
Very, very frightening.
Galileo.
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 Figaro. De Figaro.
So I know what you're thinking. These lyrics are clearly from the 1975 hit Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
While there are a lot of different theories as to what this song really means, many believe it comes down to being about a man who kills someone and sells his soul to the devil. Throughout the song, the man then attempts to regain his soul from the devil by calling out to God. The use of religion in the song leads people to see a very cult-esque approach to the song itself. But no one will ever know, as this is just simply musical conspiracy.
Because Freddie's gone.
But Rhapsody wasn't the only Bohemian thing that was surrounded by conspiracy and influenced by cult-sounding tendencies. In Monte Rio, California, on Bohemian Avenue, a place exists that is surrounded by mysteriously,
I like that.
mysteries, and secrecy. This place is known as Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove. I've heard of this place.
What?
I heard of this place.
Wait, you're saying that has to do with Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen?
No, that was just a misdirection.
Oh,
Does
shit.
contain the word Bohemian. And
Oh, yeah.
is it proven for sure that Bohemian Rhapsody doesn't have anything to do with it? Maybe
It is not
does.
proven.
Maybe
There
it does.
is no proof as to what even Freddie Mercury said over and over. He said Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm not going to say what it's about. But some say it's about his past and what his, the demons that he fought with growing up with his parents.
He killed a man, mama. And he said, I'm sorry.
He killed the inner man inside of him.
Oh, he gave it
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, he had to kill that. He had to suppress the inner person inside of him, so he could be who they wanted him to be. But
Be
he
who
could
I
never
wanna
be
be.
that man.
Nope.
And that person died.
It did, yeah.
It's deeper.
But then he resold his soul to fame.
Resell.
And then fame gave him a voice. Very similar
Beautiful voice.
to the things that go on in Bohemian Grove.
Wait, how?
Well, let's dig a little deeper, Johnny, shall we?
Yeah, we shall. We shall.
Established in 1878, Bohemian Grove is a 2,700-acre campground located at 20601 Bohemian Avenue in Monte Rio, California. I don't recommend going there, and you're going to find out why. Bohemian Grove belongs to a private San Francisco-based gentlemen's club known as the Bohemian Club. In mid-July each year, Bohemian Grove hosts a 2-week encampment of some of the most prominent men in the world. Men that have included Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon, George H.W. Bush, Clint Eastwood, and Teddy Roosevelt.
Clint Eastwood?
Just presidents, right?
Except
Except Clint Eastwood.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Bill Clinton.
But, did you say Bill Clinton?
I did not say Bill Clinton.
That's what I thought. So I all I heard was Clinton. I heard Clinton.
Yeah. So the point, these are some of the most influential, but the club is only open to wealthy and influential men who pay very high membership fees and dues and who must often wait 15 years for an opening, as the club only limits itself to 2,700 people.
Whoa.
Wait. So there's 2,700 people that are that influential, and you have to get on a list that is
Yes.
expensive.
Yeah. And
So-
the first fee to get in to pay is $25,000 to get in the club.
25,000.
So Kanye started getting popular around 2003, 2004, something like that?
Yeah.
So he's right on
qualifies.
pace. Yeah, he's like right there now. He's
Wait, so let me
could be in there.
let me get this straight. So you gain fame or you become influential, and then you have to apply, and then however many years later you have to pay 25,000.
You pay to apply,
Okay,
and then you have to wait
That's your-
upwards to 15 years
that's
to
your
actually be accepted.
starting. What if you die?
Well, then you lost $25,000. But that's not, if you're truly influential and wealthy, that's not an option.
They
for
better
you.
have really good soap in this
25.
bathroom. They better have a button in the bathroom. They better have like hand soap. Like that's expensive.
sounds like a campground though. I mean, that's like
I'm just
just
a
going to
joke.
camp.
They better have a really nice like
They have really
poop
nice
shovels then.
everything. Yeah, better have really nice everything. That's expensive as shit.
What's this
Right.
place about?
So I'm getting there. But what was really fascinating when doing the research is that this is on 2,700 acres, and they only accept 2,700 people.
One person per acre.
One person per acre.
Weird. Like a
Right.
plot of land?
Like a plot of land.
Like
And
as if that's a magic number for population in general. Like,
Because
Yes.
that's a weird number to go off of. It's not even. It's not like 25, 30.
well, maybe 2,700 was just the amount of land that was able to be
Available?
Got, yeah,
I guess.
maybe. And you're like,
Yeah.
well, based upon this number, we can have 2,700 people, one per.
Yep.
One per acre. Well, and how long are they there for? 2 weeks?
They are there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, one per land. I'm doing math in my head right now.
Yeah.
And-
Hopefully this doesn't turn out like the Firefly Festival.
What do you mean?
That's what it sounds like. That Ja Rule Festival? Man, you didn't hear about that?
Mm-mm.
It was like last year, the year before that. It was like this giant fucking festival, right?
Yep.
That Ja Rule and this, what later proved to be a con man. Like this young guy, like in his early 20s, somehow got all these investments to where they set up this music festival, pop music festival on an island. I don't know what island it was, but it's like a tropical island, very small. And they were charging like thousands of dollars for tickets.
And they got stuck there?
Many thousands of dollars for tickets. Yeah, like people arrived.
Yeah.
And there was like
Where are they?
nothing there. They had like FEMA tents and shit for their bungalow,
Yeah.
things. The food was like supposed to be 5-star chef food. Like these people paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for all-encompassing thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the food would be like a to-go container with like lettuce and a tomato and shit
Here's
like
a carrot.
that. Yeah, and like people were fucking freaking out.
And then they couldn't leave, right? Like there was no way to get off.
Yeah, they couldn't just leave immediately.
I remember
No,
that.
there wasn't food to feed them.
Do you remember
People
that?
just start stealing like places to sleep. Like this is my fucking couch now. This is my tent or whatever.
Wow. Civilization just went nasty.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fascinating.
fucking big loss, man.
27,000 acres.
2,700.
Sorry, 27. I'm going to take a zero off that number then. 2,700. That's still a lot of acreage.
It's a keen listener, Johnny is.
Guys, I'm running out of all this stuff like in real time. My handwriting sucks.
So we're talking about numerology here. So
Numerology.
27, the number 27 actually means that this person has a spiritual gift. And 27 means the person has the highest wisdom without having to search for love from others.
Wait, what?
So
That
that's what the number 27 stands for. This is like an angel number. It's in in faith. So if we're talking cult, religion, that aspect of things, 27 actually means the number of highest wisdom.
Okay, as like 6 means it's the mark of the beast. 7 is like a religious thing, like
Nick-
a godly number.
Nick,
okay.
how old are you?
27.
Oh
Interesting.
shit!
That's interesting.
Yeah, we've actually established that,
Yeah.
and we've got to be very careful for this year.
Got the trifecta.
We have to make sure that Nick doesn't write any really, really good music because we don't want him to die.
We don't want to
He's
die, but
27.
he's the highest wisdom. This might be his peak.
I hate this.
shit.
I hate it so
So
much.
you get dumber as you get older? Like, no.
Taylor, how old are you, Taylor?
I guess I'm the dumbest one here. I'm 32, I think.
thought I got
Yeah,
that.
we established that. I'm
Pretty sure
32.
I hold the title for dumbest person.
No, he definitely does. Johnny's pretty dumb.
Yeah, I feel like I hold the title for
what
that.
an idiot.
What a dumbass.
So keep that in mind. So keep 2,700 acres, 2,700 members, and then 27 meaning we're not going to go back to it. There is
But
no surprise.
25,000 to pay to get in.
Yeah, 25,000 to pay. It could have been raised to 27. I don't know. There's not a lot known about this.
It
So
makes sense to be 27. Maybe the extra 2,000 is to gain entrance once
Yeah.
you're applied.
or maybe 25,000 is a public number that is there to throw off that third 27. Because you got 27 acres, 2,700 acres, 2,700 people, and then where's that third 27?
God damn, 46.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
somewhere else in there. It's got to be.
So think about it. So during the summer encampment, the men are assigned to different camps within the Bohemian Grove. So this is where they sleep.
Okay.
These camps, and they're assigned to. So Ronald Reagan's assigned to one camp. George H.W. Bush assigned
Is
to another.
with Bill Clinton? Or
No,
sorry, with
Will-
Clinton.
there is no fact that Bill Clinton
with Clinton
is in this thing.
I'm sorry. I got like
Fuck's sake, Johnny.
I get assigned like with like Roosevelt. Like, we get to share a campground.
I wonder if these were all like in the group. They would consider them each other good and like worthy people, or just I wonder if like influence is all that mattered. Because obviously Bill Clinton and the Clintons would be influential, but
Yeah.
a lot of people think that they're like insanely bad people to the core. So I wonder if that.
Well, Bill Clinton,
We'll have to
there's
find out if
no,
he was in it or not. Yeah.
Nothing has proven that Bill Clinton was a part of the Bohemian fucking Grove. I never said anything.
Well, nothing's
It's
really
going
been-
to come up
I
on
did
Google
this-
searches
of
now.
all
so.
the names that I said, Bill Clinton was not one of
Yeah,
them.
you said like 5 presidents and then the Clinton, so I just assumed it was Bill.
Listen, there aren't a lot of facts. I just read the most influential names on the list. And these names stopped at a certain point, and now there's no information about who currently is a part of Bohemian Grove. But we're getting there. So the camps include the Hillbillies, the
Wait.
Mandalay,
What?
the Caveman, the Stoneway, the Uplifters, the Owl's Nest, the Hideaway, the Isle of Aves, the Lost Angels, the Silverado Squatters, the Sempervirens, the Hillside, and the Idlewild.
Weird.
What are these?
These are all the camps inside Bohemian Grove.
Those
So
are
it's
all
like,
the camps.
Yeah, it's basically like all the cabins that are there, and the specific group is assigned to each cabin, and that's how they classify themselves.
Teams.
Sounds like summer camp. Yeah.
It's very much
Summer
Like-
camp for
yeah,
middle-aged
like-
people.
Chipmunk bunk. You know?
It is like the chipmunk bunk from Heavyweights. But each camp has a captain, and one of his many jobs is to upkeep the area, similar to a
Camp
frat
counselor.
house
Or camp counselor.
or a frat house. Okay. Along with the sleeping quarters or camps, there are central spaces for recreation and entertainment. These areas include the Grove Stage, which the Grove Stage has the second largest pipe organ on that stage for reasons we don't know why.
Very hard instrument to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like expensive and
And this is out
They're
like,
just there.
a
insane amount of
campsite.
space.
Yeah.
That's like hard to keep up.
In the middle of the woods,
A campsite?
surrounded by very large walls.
I read the other day, side note, in Atlanta at the Tabernacle, I don't know if I read this correctly, but it's the largest pipe organ that it still works.
Really?
It's still in
So
use.
the second,
Yeah, it's
so
not
the-
actually in use there, but
Taylor, are you part of this group?
are you part of the Bohemian Grove?
dun, dun, dun.
Tune in next week.
I'm very influential, and I'm not rich.
Maybe you don't have to. Maybe Taylor's so influential that the money they just kind of like pass it off.
Yeah, there's a balance there.
So the areas include the Grove Stage, the Field Circle, the Campfire Circle, the Museum Stage, the Dining Circle, the Clubhouse, and the Owl Shrine and Lake. And like many clubs, there was a motto. And that motto is, "Weaving spiders come not here." This implied that outside concerns and business deals are to be left at the door and not allowed inside. So no business talk at all.
Okay.
This is a pleasure trip, not a business trip, gentlemen.
Okay, so yeah, maybe these guys, it's like you can think of it as like a safe haven where all these really influential people can go for a small amount of time, and they know they'll be around other influential people. But,
Yeah, that's actually
but they're not
brilliant.
going to get hit with all these like
And they'd want that.
business propositions and like ulterior motives and shit like that.
Yeah,
Right.
At a certain point, if you're influential enough, every person you meet is going to be looking at you as a avenue for
Yeah.
their benefit.
Yeah,
So
even
this-
if it's someone who's like coming at you in a genuine way, you
Yeah.
know, though still in the back of their mind, it's
Assume.
like, oh, there's something here.
There's
Yeah,
gotta
we
be an
get
ulterior
something out of
motive.
this.
It's a
Yeah.
space where essentially like they're all equals.
Yeah.
They're all wealthy.
Yeah.
They all paid to be there. They have the money. They're influential. They're in a space. It's harmless.
They all apparently like owls. I hear
The
owls
owl
coming up
is-
quite
right.
a bit.
Interesting. No, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. So it's all crazy. Let me see. I want to see what the owl, I didn't do this in my research, but I want to see what the owl symbolizes very quickly.
An average celebrity and like of high enough status, Britney Spears, Miley Cyrus, Michael Jackson, at a certain point they can't live without people always being like, up their ass with like celebrity stardom. So this has got to be a place where they can go and feel like a normal human.
Right.
People people always overlook that, like, oh, I wish I was famous, but like, dude, it would fucking suck sometimes to be famous.
Well, an owl is known to symbolize good luck and protection from suffering.
Oh, okay.
So we have the number 27, which means, power, the highest power of wisdom.
And
then we have the owl that's good luck and protection from suffering. So
What other infinity stones can we add up in this?
Yeah, so it seems like, what if like the 27 is like, they got some information that they're protecting in some way? Like
Maybe.
highest level of knowledge, maybe they've got something, knowledge-wise?
we're going to find out.
Oh, shit.
My God.
So
I'm into this.
leading up to this point, this seemed like a harmless place where men could go and see themselves as equals and influential.
It was just men.
It was just men.
Joey lost that
Only
story.
men.
That's kind of sexist.
It's very. But you keep in mind, this was established in the 1800s.
Oh, okay.
This is a long time ago. This
Wonder
has
if
been
it was
around.
established today, if it would still stick to that.
America was established a long time ago, but we don't only allow men into like liquor stores.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is there was actually a lawsuit in the early 1900s against it for being sexist.
Oh, wow.
And it just got thrown out. Thrown out.
Yeah, right. It's a private club.
Yeah.
Boys only, no girls
they're
allowed.
Gentlemen's clubs. Like,
Right.
that's their purpose, is no women. Like,
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know if this is real. Our families are all heavily involved in golf. You hear the whole thing, golf stand for guys only, ladies forbidden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, Augusta National
Remember that?
didn't have a woman play the course until very recently.
Wow.
Yeah, women aren't allowed there.
It's probably because that rule that if you hit your ball like closer than the woman's or elderly tee, you have to drop trowel and walk to your ball. You
Never heard that.
You ever heard that?
I don't. Well, there obviously aren't women's tees there. There's
No,
just,
it's
I think there's
elderly-
just one tee box per
elderly
hole. I'm
or
sure.
oh yeah, really?
Yeah, it's
Huh.
yeah.
You ever heard that story? If you drive and you don't from the tee, if you don't make it to the kids or elderly tee, you drop trowel and walk.
I mean, that's a pretty short drive.
Johnny,
If you're
Johnny,
not
the
hitting it-
resident,
you know,
resident golf guy.
50 feet to the next tee or whatever.
Yeah, if you dink it, if you worm burn it.
We've all done that. I've done that. We've done it.
Yeah, I've definitely done it a couple times.
But
But
there,
I've
yeah,
not dropped
but-
trowel.
Yeah, but the private club idea where it's either women only or guys only, that totally exists.
I'm cool with that. If there is an equal, and I'm not trying to sound 100% non-sexist here.
Oh, yeah.
But like, if there is
Decided.
if there's this, what was it called, Bohemian Club?
I know how much you're listening. It's called Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian Grove, but it's the club. If there was like a Bohemian Women's Club, like I'm sure that would be just as like hard to get into.
It should be, rightfully so.
Right.
If that's their purpose, if they create it, and that's the purpose.
Like,
But
get away
oddly
from your
enough,
man.
did you guys see this past week, Boy Scouts of America letting little girls in?
Good.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, they kind of. I think they made the mistake of separating them in the first place.
Right.
Should have just been one thing.
Like a
It's
community
just
thing.
living skills. You know, it's not like boy living skills, girl living skills.
Yeah.
And plus, we could have been in the Boy Scouts and got all them damn cookies.
Dude, how much cooler would that have been?
Right?
I would have joined if I were to get those damn Samoas.
Well, I would just say it needs to be a double-edged sword. If the Boy Scouts are letting in the girls, Girl Scouts got to let in the boys so we can get our hands on them cookies, man.
Dude.
I would be slanging those things when I was a little kid.
Dude, so good. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, it's a siren.
Oh, okay. Something's going on. No, honestly, like the best part.
We're talking about Bohemian Grove, guys. They got us.
A very rare crime just happened in Spring Hill. This is like the most suburbia place I've ever been with the
Families
greenest
only.
grass.
so?
I've never seen more kids in my life on like a summer day. It's like perpetually a summer day here with like sprinklers going.
It's family central, man.
Didn't think a siren would exist out here.
Yeah, not many.
So that must have been from neighboring Shelbyville. We hear the siren from Shelbyville.
Probably. It's a loud one.
So besides, the club being strict to men, it costing a lot of money, there's nothing wrong with any pieces of information I've given so far.
It's been pretty solid.
It's weird for a bunch of grown men to live this lifestyle and
Sure.
feel like they need to do this. But this is where things take quite a dark turn.
Oh.
So what makes this entire club interesting are the reports of what they might do inside.
What did I
Sinister
do?
things,
Sinister.
evil things that could could be the reason these men are in power. At the base of the Owl Shrine, which is one of their many areas of entertainment, it's a 40-foot owl concrete statue.
Sounds pretty badass.
Yeah, that sounds like dope.
Well, what's not dope about that is that they say human sacrifices are made once a year during a ceremony called the Cremation of Care.
Whoa.
While this started as a dramatic recreation of a sacrifice during one of the many plays that these guys happen to watch during their encampment, in 1913 it was separated and made its own event, which some have reported that actual sacrifice of human beings and children occur in order as a quote-unquote exorcising of demons to ensure the success of the ensuing 2 weeks. This is how a weekend at Bohemian Grove starts.
What a
with
great way to
ceremony.
start your week.
Sacrifice. That's kind of weird. Like, so it's like expel the demons. Like,
Take this one.
all these like really powerful people have like sinister things in their head. They're like, okay, if we just kill this fucking little kid,
They'll take it
wow,
away.
okay, that's out of my head for a little while. So I can wait until next year to like I can hold everything inside for a full year until next year I can
Yeah.
murder another little kid or sacrifice somebody. That's
Yeah.
weird, dude.
It's
So they're sacrificing this a human, you said child or woman, to...
no, not a child. Johnny, just fucking listen.
I'm writing it down.
You're not writing anything down.
Wait,
We're not talking about rescue boats.
We're talking
sacrifice it.
a person or a child.
Oh.
I wonder
they're
how-
both people. So they're sacrificing to this creature that essentially has...
No, it's not a creature. It's
Well, it's a shrine of an
For
owl.
fuck's sake.
I'm saying, shut up.
I,
The shrine of the owl, but the owl is symbolizing, like you said earlier, like if 27 was like the powerful number,
Wisdom.
like all wisdom.
Wisdom.
The owl was like, fuck, what was it again? They're sacrificing.
look down at your paper you've been writing shit down on.
I guess I missed that part. Well, what does the owl represent again?
I'm not even going to tell you.
I fine. Well, they're sacrificing your dick. They're sacrificing this human to a shrine, essentially, to demons. And the owl represents whatever virtue you were talking about, and that's supposed to expel all their bad shit. And they can spend those next 2 weeks just being normal humans.
Just being dudes. Yeah, now they got the killing out of the way. Then they can do arts and crafts. They can like whittle stuff out of wood
Play
and go
music.
canoeing.
Let's go in the pond. So,
Little side note. I'm in a gang. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but you look at a lot of my pictures. I throw up a gang sign.
yeah, he does.
What is that gang sign?
It's an owl.
That's a fucking owl, Johnny.
Yeah, you cross your arms, open your OK signs.
Are you publicly admitting that you're part of Bohemian Grove?
Maybe there's a Georgia chapter. I don't know.
The shrine.
I am the shrine.
Yeah. Sacrifice.
Oh, good God.
I'm not in a gang. PSA, don't join gangs.
Yeah, it's just Taylor's the only gang member and leader. It's a nice gang. It just brings happiness and laughter.
We grow gardens. We clean up the inner cities.
Yeah, throw your trash.
You recycle.
We recycle, pick up trash. We walk old ladies to across the street.
It's like not even a gang. It's
Dude, when I was looking for my story this morning, I found an article talking about plogging. It's a new trend.
What's plogging?
What?
Pretty cool. All you guys need to get out there and start plogging. If you guys are just jogging, switch it over to plogging, please. So plogging is apparently where you go jogging, exercise, and on your jog, you pick up litter.
Oh.
Just fucking pick up that litter.
Then you can do a little back exercise for like the deadlift of a little bit of garbage.
A little plastic. Yeah. So you're exercising and you're picking up trash, man.
Make the world a better place.
Good job, ploggers.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great trend. That's
I love that.
a positive
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hopefully it keeps
environmental
up.
thing.
I feel like we're twisting the idea of human sacrifice and turning it into something positive. So we're removing the darkness from the podcast to just like remind people.
Or adding light to something super
Insert
bad.
fluffy clouds, please. Right here.
There's still good people out there.
I wonder where they get like the people that they sacrifice.
So apparently they're like classified as lower class poor people.
Man.
They're
which in their like position would be literally everybody else.
that's not them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who can't afford $25,000 as a application fee.
Yeah. So they say that people who come to Bohemian Grove, because like you can Google it, it's public. The address is public.
Oh, so you go
I
there.
opened the podcast reading the address.
Yeah.
Anybody can go there. They say that if you are lower class and you go to Bohemian Grove and they catch you, they will keep you and you will be the human sacrifice for the year.
Well, it's like a gated and protected area, though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I could jump the gate.
so you'd
But if
have
they
to like
find
break
you-
in, I guess. But
Yeah, there apparently
still,
there are no trespassing signs everywhere.
Just drone it.
And so if you trespass and happen to miss the sign, you could be the sacrifice for the year.
dog.
It's like a turkey on like Thanksgiving.
Well, how? Yeah.
It sucks.
Well, who like had the knowledge of this? Like, I'm sure if they're doing this shit and they're murdering people, they want to keep it under wraps. Like,
Funny thing you
how does anyone
say
know this?
about that, and also use the word under wraps.
Are mummies involved?
Well,
Walk like an
they might be.
Egyptian.
Holy shit!
While a lot of people demand truth, there is photo evidence of these sacrifices in National Geographic.
Photo evidence?
Yeah.
National Geographic.
From the like 1913,
That's
1915.
nationally graphic right there. Eee. Graphic content right there.
It's an international publication, correct?
I don't know. Yes?
National Geographic? Yeah.
International graphic.
International Geographic.
Internationally graphic content.
But in National Geographic, they did have photos. There are 4 photos that you can look up. I can't show you the photos because it's a podcast, but I can link it on our Facebook
Can you
page.
describe it to me, please, in detail.
It is just 3 different images of them sacrificing somebody.
Weird.
Like, it's crazy. There are candles and all that stuff. It's nuts.
In
but-
1913, where the cameras were,
Like black and white, old.
I guess it was still like point and shoot though. It wasn't like a crank and shit. All right, it's gonna take 45 seconds for this picture.
Give me a minute.
And a big like a bright explosion with gunpowder and
It
shit.
was the big, like, stretchy cameras. Like the.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
look like an
So,
accordion.
like take a picture like a Polaroid.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And there are, just like any club, there are club, like, yearbooks essentially where at the end. And on eBay, sometimes you can see a Bohemian Grove yearbook pop up and you can buy it.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's like a yearbook and it's pictures.
I wonder if they all sign it.
Some of them do.
See you next year, Teddy.
Yeah. See you next year. Had great quilting with you.
But there are pictures inside the book from inside. I mean, it's literally like someone goes around the camera like, hey, and it's members only for the
Yearbook
book.
staff.
Yep.
Yeah. Weird, dude.
And the people who don't believe in it anymore and want to get rid of that part of their past, they sell them on eBay. But the books that are on eBay are the ones from the years that are like low key because they got more private about things. But one of the most compelling pieces of evidence comes from a radio show host by the name of Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, I know Alex Jones.
And his cameraman, who both infiltrated the Grove in July of 2000.
Brave men.
Did these guys not know who Alex Jones was? Was he not around in 2000? Was he not like a popular face?
He was just a radio host back then.
Weird.
Yeah.
Alex Jones went into this motherfucker?
He got in.
What?
And during the infiltration, they managed to document the frat-like appearance of the entire encampment, but the most alarming thing they captured was a piece of the cremation of care ceremony to which they burned a coffin with a mummified body inside, moving and trembling, and they deemed this mummified person as Care, so the cremation of Care. So Care was whatever the mummified thing was.
What?
The footage is equal parts terrifying and disturbing as a large voice booms over a loudspeaker reciting this really fucked up verse. It sounds very culty, and there are very loud screams heard from whatever was inside the coffin while it was burning.
Damn.
So even if this was a stage production, how would these wealthy men find joy in opening their weekend with watching like the darkest shit ever of like lighting a fire with a person, quote unquote, inside of it, screaming?
Screams.
It would have to be them essentially like expelling or thinking they're expelling their demons, like a purge, but just for this one day. Oh, one day. It's a purge.
Like my curiosity wouldn't even peak. Like I wouldn't want to be like, hey guys, let's go chill. You know what would be great? A play where a bunch of people in robes stand around this giant fucking eagle or owl and burn this coffin alive, and then there are actual screams as if it's simulating something that's reality. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Hella crazy because, like,
I don't want that.
Yeah, and then the question, like, okay, so are these people, like, into it? Like, I'm loving that we're doing this, or they're like, God, I can't believe that we have to do this, but we have to do this. So it's let's just muscle through it. We'll get to the
They're
next
joining
one,
the club intentionally, right?
Yeah, but maybe there's, that's hopefully the burning of the body is not why they're joining the club. Hopefully they're just still like, oh God, I can't believe we're fucking doing this.
But
then we're like, well, we have to.
If they're joining the club, they're taking, like I'm saying, like if
they know it's going to happen when they join.
If they don't want to do it, just don't do it again. Then if they're
just don't be in the club.
Yeah.
You've already invested.
But they want to be in the club, obviously, for whatever the other reasons are.
I guess in my non super wealthy, non influential mind, I'm like, doesn't sound like a great deal. You have to watch somebody get murdered, but I get 2 weeks with my buddy. It's awesome.
Well, Johnny, if you really want to make a change, you're gonna have to get in there and you're gonna have to make that change happen yourself.
With those people or me?
You got to get in there and you got to make the change happen.
I'll do it.
But the crazy thing is, what if there is, and we're going to get into it in a second. I just have one little bit here left, and because I want to spend some time on the hypotheticals. But what if there is a higher power at play? I mean, we have the number 27, we have the owl, we have all these different things that represent different things. And sacrifice usually means you sacrifice to gain. Yeah. If you're speaking from a cult perspective. Mm-hmm. So what if these guys have to do this in order to retain their wealth and their status,
or appease some higher power?
Yeah, and it's very similar to something we all know is the Illuminati, but we're not going to jump ahead.
Hey.
So the thing about the Bohemian Grove is that it exists. There's proof that it exists. There's an address that it exists. Everything is real. There are even quotes from Nixon himself and other members publicly speaking about it and even trying to dodge questions in interviews when they come up. One, for example, is politician David Gergen. When asked about Bohemian Grove in an interview by Alex Jones, he said, I am a member, quote, I am a member of, I'm going to start over. I am a member of the Bohemian Grove, but it is inappropriate for me to talk about anything outside of that. So then Alex Jones asked a follow-up question about the rituals that happen there, and Gergen responded, it's none of your damn business. Even large companies have members within the Bohemian Grove, some say with Time Warner, and they ensure that media coverage of it stays as silent as possible. So large, media coverage companies from either NBC or Fox or Time Warner, they have members inside, and those members control whether or not things come out about Bohemian Grove. There's not a lot on the internet. You can't find a lot.
Right.
Nothing.
It blows my mind that Alex Jones got in there. Like,
That's his like claim to fame.
Yeah, he's a pretty eccentric guy. You know, if you know his stuff, he's out there. He believes in a lot of crazy shit.
He's insane.
Yeah, and he's like a heated guy. I don't know. You take that with a grain of salt, but I want to believe that he got in there and really got some info. And
he wrote a whole article. I mean, there's a whole article. He even interviewed people who don't believe in it, who did it. Were in Bohemian Grove and they got out because they're like, this is crazy. I can't do this.
Well, another part of that is when they get out, man, why would it be different than any other like gang or whatever? Like, yo, you're in. There is no getting out.
Right.
You know, you think if there really is some kind of a knowledge that they're gaining and they're fucking murdering people, you'd think that you wouldn't want to be like, yo, I was in that club.
Yeah.
And then because at some point it is proven that you guys were murdering people.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
you're
associated,
fried,
bro.
You're associated with murder.
But and that brings in, and that's the thing, there are a lot of hypotheticals at play, and we can cover them all, but that's the thing. Like, why has this not been investigated? Are the members paying off Monte Rio law enforcement to allow them to do whatever they want? Are they paying the FBI? Is this part of the Illuminati? Who else is a part of this club? What else do they do behind the closed doors in the 2 weeks that they're there? If they make one human sacrifice on the opening night, what do they do for 2 other weeks?
Yeah, like is there a lake? Is there a river? Are they fishing? Are they canoeing? What are they doing?
Right. So there are so many questions at play here, and only one true attempt to expose the true nature of the Grove, and that was 18 years ago. 18 years ago. There was a little moment in 2014 where a sacrifice happened, video appeared on the internet, and then the video was gone.
So in 2000, there was a tried...
That was
like
Alex Jones.
Of Alex Jones. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was there.
Well, another thing there is, Alex Jones is all over the internet. Would the Grove want him to just continue to be on the internet so they can say, yeah, Alex Jones says all this crazy shit. Sure, he said all this stuff about the Grove, but we're going to let him be. And that in some way is proof that the Grove is harmless.
Well, I think he dug his own hole because he says such crazy shit that
Yeah.
they knew, and this is another hypothetical that we'll talk about, but they knew that he was going to basically dig his own hole and they don't have to do anything.
Grave.
Like,
Yeah.
Stop
these
saying
guys...
that.
What?
It's dig your own grave and dig your own hole.
I mean, it's a whole grave. I can say what the
Could
fuck
be
I
either
want.
one. Could be either one,
It's
yeah.
a hole or a grave. I'm not saying he's going to die. He's just digging himself in a hole, a deeper hole. It's a saying. It's a phrase.
You're digging yourself into a deeper hole, I think, is then digging your own hole.
But it doesn't matter.
I think it both apply. I think it's
Yeah, I just keep giggling when you say it, so I'm just... Okay.
user listener poll.
Johnny's turned into like this bad boy dickhead all of a sudden.
Whoa! I did it because I'm
got
not
his hat on
putting up...
backwards.
His hat's
he's got
on back, sunglasses.
on.
He's not listening to the podcast.
I'm reading all these
He's
fucking
written
notes.
like 4 notes down.
He's sitting here cracking his knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah, gritting my teeth, listen to bad boy music. Okay, I can take my head off.
He's like the villain in a high school movie.
Yeah, I'm like the
I think if
asshole.
you're sitting there listening to Puff Daddy music, as
Yeah.
in bad boy music,
He's
that'd
got
be
a
the
wireless
least hard
earbud
thing
in.
possible.
earphone with a gold chain. I think less putting up with you guys' shit and just staying in my own little bubble over here. Not instead of my little boy used to know.
He ain't
I
swerving.
don't
He's just
like
staying
it.
in his lane.
You don't like it? I'll take my glasses off.
I don't like it.
Glasses
Hey, there he is. He's
my
back.
eyes!
He's so nice.
It's really bright in this
All
room.
can say.
I can see clearly.
Oh wait,
now.
nope, I'm blonde.
Johnny's a dick.
The Grove is still known as one of the most forbidden places in America. However, it still operates today, and we can only imagine what kind of stuff goes on in there. So I have a couple hypotheticals here, little pieces that we can talk about. One of which, rumors are, all political business happens inside.
Oh.
So
between
people-
countries and stuff?
Yeah, so they swear not to talk about business while they're there, but they actually are controlling how the fate of the world.
Yeah, those are the biggest decisions, I guess, that are happening there.
Because they're all influential people and they're paying to be there and they're
Yeah.
all talking to each other. One instance is that in 1995, there's it's not a fact, but it is rumored that George W. Bush was in there because his father was a part of Bohemian Grove. He was in there and he's like hanging out by the lake and he mentions, oh man, I'd make a great president. 5 years later, guess who became president? George motherfucking Bush.
That is crazy. Like, they would have to be like, I don't know anything about presidents or their competency or are they good for the job or whatever, but he seems like not a smart guy. Like, he's so like hilariously dumb in the shit that he would say.
Yeah.
That it's like, what? How in the world? Like
I mean-
dumber than Trump, right? I mean, I don't know.
I'd say pre-presidency, less successful for sure. And some of the things he says, you're like, what? Wait, can you repeat that? Both ends. But I would say Bush has definitely been like known for his incompetency.
I mean, you fooled him once. You can't be fooled again.
Yeah, so you're saying that because, or hypothetically, since he talked about it when his dad was at Bohemian Grove, it's like almost like ironic or like a message that he became president years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they found some validity in what he was saying. It was like, you really wouldn't make a good president, but since you said that, you got it in our brains. We're talking about it over here, and we're like, yeah, he's like the Marty Huggins. We're going to implant him as a president
They're gonna
so
put
we
him
can
in.
pull some strings. Yeah.
This sounds a lot like the younger brother of the group. Like he goes to the thing and it's like, damn it, Georgie, you want to be president? Fuck, I don't want you to be my friends, but okay, you'll be president. Damn it.
Which is weird because if Jeb Bush, if they would have just made him president instead, it seems like it would have made more sense. He seems like a more competent person.
But that's what they say is that
better
like
cover.
the camps that they split everybody up into, everyone in different camps represented different parts of our business and political climate.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
So like one group would be like that, they'd be like the political advisors and they'd be like, oh yeah, George Bush said over by the lake that he wants to be president. Yeah, well, he seems pretty stupid, but hey, it will work. And then they talk to their captain talks to another captain of like the hillbillies.
The spokesman, essentially.
Yeah, and then that captain talks to the hillbillies, and the hillbillies are like the tax people.
Yeah.
And they all work in, the tax and accounting parts of our government. And then they're like, hey, yeah, man, this could be, all right, well, things might get really bad financially for a while. Then it'll get good again. Like, fuck it, let's take the risk. And then they talk to the entertainment people, and the entertainment people are like, man, this could be great for us. Ratings could be high. It's going to be great. And then they talk to the other people, and it's just like, it's everyone.
So it's just everybody across the world getting into a camp that's only 2,700 acres.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is that there's different, like, you're essentially saying that each one of these cabins has a different, like, mindset, political stance, or, like, position in power politically.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's funny because there's, like, an alt-left, alt-right cabin, and they're just, like, TPing each other, like, water bombs, like, like ding-dong ditching. That's just, like, all I can imagine is that, like, they're like, hey, you're alt-left? Fuck you. It's like
putting itching powder in the secret
exactly.
bags
Like,
and stuff.
it's like pranks for each other's political parties.
But that's the funny. It's funny you say that because that's exactly what like experts are saying. Is that, like they're not changing the fate of the world. They're not sacrificing people. They're just out, just letting loose, just having fun.
So
I just don't understand why they would need all these other influential people to just do that. Because they have families and shit.
Yeah.
That's what I have. I'm the disbeliever in the group, but I think it's weird that if, let's say, there's 27,000 people who go to this, each one of those 27,000 people have
2,700.
What?
2,700.
No, 1,000 people.
2,700
People? Oh, sorry. 27. I guess I don't listen to this podcast. So out of these 2,700 people, they all have. Oh, you're right, because it's 2,700 acres. Because they all have families, friends, and people they know that are going to see them go for 2 weeks every single year to a camp. And they're middle-aged men. That makes no sense. I feel like a lot of questions be raised. A lot of people be like, "Where are you?" Even people in the cabinet in the United States, in the president's cabinet, would be like, "Well, where is that?" Like,
well, I imagine they say it. They're like, "Yeah, we're going to Bohemian Grove for these 2 weeks."
But then each one of those people keeps the secret, and no one talks about it. Like, I would definitely think the asshole intern would be like, "What?"
Yeah, someone would have to. You'd think someone would get out, and that's Alex Jones got out somehow. But these people who were in the club and they decide to leave, there has to be either it's so severe what would happen to these people, or it is just so innocent that they're like, okay, we can leave and still not talk about it, and we're not going to get murdered.
If they have wealth, it could be something as simple as we will ruin you.
Or
Like,
power.
all the influential, like it's you against
The most powerful people.
2,700 influential people,
Yeah,
and they're like, you leave, you talk, everything is gone. We'll take your house,
Family.
we'll take your family, we'll take your money,
Take your
we'll
dog.
take everything. And that's enough to scare somebody. But just the threat of money alone is probably the most horrifying thing to someone who has a lot of money.
Yeah.
If you said, when you're signing your hush agreement, like don't first rule of Fight Club, don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah.
You sign that hush agreement, and they're like, we're going to take all your money if you fuck up. And that would be enough to make any of those old men be like, yeah, I'm not going to talk even when I get out, because they could lose everything. And that money, when they die, is going to go to somebody, whether it's family, whether it's another investment, whatever, whether it's going to be locked away forever and no one else is going to get to touch their money. Whatever they do, like, that is more of a threat to them than anything.
Yeah, that's incentive to not say shit.
Yeah.
That's very valid.
But then, like, why hasn't the contract come out? Like, why have they not leaked the contract and been like, hey, look, this is happening, shut them down? But
that would mean
reverse,
the world would blow up. All these individual people would be not able to do what they're paid to do.
Yeah. Right.
And we would have, we would have our infrastructure of political power would be crumbled.
well, all they'd have to do is, the guy, one of the founders or who got promoted to captain or chief or whatever the hell this is, they just pay off whoever. So if it does leak and the person's like, I'm going to leak it, they're like, no, you're not. Here's $5 million to say that you're going to shut up and you're going to give this back.
And a shit ton of reasons why, other reasons why you're not going to.
Money talks.
They're already the influential people, so they've already got all those people in their pocket or whatever anyways.
Right. Yeah. It's money speaks louder than any...
Than sacrifices.
Well, apparently not. But that's the
so
thing.
I wonder, are these sacrifices like missing people, kidnap people?
They haven't
like,
talked about it.
Presumably, like a kidnapping of of other crime. There's
nothing.
Maybe
it's so weird.
Maybe they buy the person. So if there's if they take the person, they buy it from a family who's lower class, and they go, hey, we'll buy this guy. He seems like a loser. We'll buy him, and you're going to lose him. Or you're not going to know what's going to happen to him. But we'll buy him off of you, and you will not have to worry about money for the rest of your life. And they give him, someone who only has $10,000 to their name, and they're living in poverty, and they say, hey, here's $20 million.
Take Randy.
Yeah.
I could see that working.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
It would work, and I think that's like money is like the corrupter to the world, and I think that it could be as easy as saying, hey, we'll buy this guy for $20 million, and you don't have to worry about money for the rest of your life. Boom. Sacrifice.
Even something along the lines of, we're going to buy him from him and give him the best life possible. We're going to get him in this like awesome cabin and talk to all the presidents. Oh yeah, sure, take Randy. But little they know, he's going to die.
Yeah.
Does he happen to like owls?
Is he a fan of owls?
He's going to be sacrificed to our owl king.
But they say there's a whole theory of Illuminati and like other secret societies exist. But Illuminati, the whole idea is that like Illuminati is you sell your soul to the devil, similar to the story of Bohemian Rhapsody. And
bringing it back.
Yeah, and once you get in, you can't get out, and that's like they say this Beyonce is like that. They say Jay-Z is like that. They say Kanye is like that. But there is no proof of any of the current list of members, because a lot of the members that were on Wikipedia, which is a very valid resource for us,
100%.
A lot of those people are deceased, and they have passed away. There is no recent update to this specific list. This list could include Beyonce, Kanye, Jay-Z. It could include Donald Trump. But
it can't, because if that was possible, these people that in 21st century right now in 2018 are so heavily watched via cameras and press and paparazzi, there's no time or a way they could escape for 2 weeks.
Well, I don't think it's a secret that they're going for 2 weeks.
Well, apparently it is, because I've never heard about this. Any of my famous or my celebrities that I'm in love with, I've never heard about them being out of. I'll watch them on Snapchat every single day of my life.
Yeah,
so how could they leave
if
for 2 weeks?
Jay-Z was on vacation, you would really notice that?
Not Jay-Z, because I don't care about Jay-Z. I mean, he's a cool guy, but
who are you talking about?
Like Shaun White. I'm talking about like Shaun White.
He's probably not one of these people. Super successful. Yeah, he's like super successful. He's probably got some money. But he doesn't have Jay-Z money.
I mean,
I would argue that like a JT, like Justin Timberlake, would be like borderline, not
how about
even high enough.
Kim Kardashian or Kanye West? People watch their story every single day on Snapchat and follow them.
Yeah, I would say Kanye could be at that level, but then just being related to Kim Kardashian could pull him right back out and be like, no, you do not qualify for obvious fucking
reasons. You do not qualify.
Yeah.
You should keep a fucking secret. So I'm saying is that like in this time and age, I don't think there's any wiggle room or give or slack to be able to escape for 2 weeks and have nobody actually raise any questions. 27,000 people that are remote. This isn't 27.
Like if Kanye went away for 2 weeks, how would you know?
Yeah, and he's literally going on vacation to California.
No. I would know, because I don't give a shit about Kanye, but because every single post he's on vacation, he'll post on Instagram and Snapchat while he's on vacation.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he will.
No, he fucking won't. He just left Twitter for 3 months.
Some of these most influential people in the world do on vacation post.
But why would, if they didn't post, they would just leave in July in summer?
If they didn't, I'd agree with you, but they do.
But you don't know.
You don't know, man.
You're saying some random person is taking their phone and posting every single day that is impersonating Kanye, or let's say...
Let's say this. One of these people who has these Instagram accounts, Twitter accounts, dude, they've got hundreds
Of, like,
hundreds
stored?
of posts ready to go, and they're not posting them probably. They've
Yeah.
got their assistant posting them, and it's like, yo, if you don't post this many posts a day, you're fucking fired.
But if Kanye
He's not
got
there,
on a
essentially.
private jet and flew out of an executive airport privately, posted the picture of him on the jet being like, going on vacation, didn't post again for 2 weeks, no one would question whether he was out in the woods sacrificing somebody. He's going to Monte Rio, California.
I disagree.
And let's think about this, guys.
Okay, when's the last time you saw someone post on social media and you were like, okay, Chris Pratt said he's going on vacation. Where's those vacation pics?
No,
When's the last time you gave that much of a shit?
I
Yeah.
have never given a shit. I personally, Johnny Clark, have never given a shit if anybody, friend, poor, rich, famous, not famous, dog, it goes on vacation. I don't care what they do. But there are people out there that spend their lives, their livelihood, following people and making sure they know what they're doing every second of every day of every year, every month of every year, sorry. And those people, not me, those people would definitely know. People
Like
people,
paparazzi?
no, fans. People track
No,
them.
they wouldn't. So if Kanye goes to a private airport,
Yeah.
okay,
His own
flies
airport, yeah.
out from a private airport that fans are not allowed to get near because if you have that much money, you have enough security to be like, hey, don't even get near here.
Yeah.
He flies from L.A. to Monte Rio in a private airport that if they have this private club, they probably have a private airport that no one knows where it is.
Yeah, they would
Sure.
have to.
No one. Or like,
Or
27,000
they've got
private
a
airports.
big ass parking lot.
or a helicopter
You
pad.
know? Like,
Sure.
Yeah,
a giant parking lot.
Yeah.
Like he flies from LA to Monte Rio, gets off the plane in Monte Rio, gets on a helicopter at another executive private airport
Yeah.
that no fans are allowed near. Gets in the helicopter, flies. Helicopter takes him to Bohemian Grove. No one knows.
There's
what
nowhere to
happened.
track him, essentially.
And we're talking
No.
to Kanye, so he's got, like we said a second ago, he's got these pics already. There's tons of pics on every beach in the world of Kanye.
Right, him and
You
Kim
know?
going on. He goes on 30 vacations a
And so
month.
they'll just post those videos from a previous vacation or a different vacation.
Absolutely. Just like anybody, even normal people with their account, they're like, okay, I've got these great photos. I just posted one yesterday. I'm going to post one in 4 days. That's the experience I had a week ago.
But celebrities don't. Yeah, they don't post. Like if a celebrity goes to a bar, they don't post when they're at the
That
bar.
second,
They
yeah.
post 3 days after they were at that bar because if they posted at that moment, people would go to that bar and find the celebrity.
I agree with you 100%. I that makes a lot of sense. What I'm saying is that some crazy people out there who, like I said, spend their livelihood and their whole lives trying to find this, eventually will put together the piece that every single year for 2 exact weeks, there's, for some reason, a post that was obviously made not then and there. Like this video was obviously from the Caribbean. Well, Kanye was in the Caribbean 2 weeks ago. That doesn't make any sense. The people out there, I think there's people out there.
A beach looks like a beach.
I think there are people out there. No, I could definitely tell.
Dude, like if
No,
someone was trying to like make this like, okay, we're covering this gap
But
in the
there's
life,
so
then they would
many.
have that taken
I
care
agree,
of.
but there are so many 2 weeks. There's so many 27,000 2-week periods every single year.
2,700.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. There's 2,700 2-week gaps that these people
I
leave
don't
on.
think. No, you just don't post on social media.
Man,
I don't. I don't think people
I just
care.
think there are people out there that would raise some questions. That's all I'm saying.
Well, they didn't because 90% of
Well,
people
they-
don't know what
they-
Bohemian Grove is.
They didn't, and that's why I'm saying it doesn't make sense.
What part doesn't make sense?
That nobody's asking questions about this.
Why would they ask questions about
It's
a private club?
fact. I mean, it's a fact that it exists
Because-
and that this many people go there.
Because if it's in knowledge, or if you can find the information that there is a sacrifice out there, if you can find this information, there's a sacrifice out there that is done for people that are really wealthy, really influential, and that for some reason, 2 weeks out of the year, people just don't post, or people are away from the social media. People out there would connect the fucking dots,
What, did they go to a
That's what
private
would-
gentleman's club?
and they
Exactly,
sacrifice people. That there's something.
But
Alex,
there is
Alex
no-
Jones has a video of it.
Yeah, there is a video
He's
of
released it.
it. It exists, but it was like swept under the rug.
That's if
Like
that's true, it blows
every
my
other
mind.
conspiracy, like a conspiracy theory, it would be.
Yeah, if aliens
Swept under the
exist,
rug. This
why do
isn't
we
real.
not claim that they exist?
There's a video of it. Nope. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. You just have to
you're saying
decide whether it
people-
is or it isn't.
People
you know?
just like saying it's obviously fake.
Yeah, just like almost every other conspiracy theory.
Yeah, because everyone thinks Alex Jones is a crazy person. So they're like, oh, it's just some guy who staged this. Oh, it's just a play. Oh, it's not real.
I agree it's not real. But if it was, it wouldn't make sense because of how hard
Wait,
it would
you
be.
Let's
agree
put the
that-
sacrificing aside.
Okay.
No sacrificing.
It should
Let's
just-
say they're
yeah.
just going there to have a 2-week retreat.
Yeah.
What's weird about that? There's nothing secret about it.
Nothing's well, yeah, exactly. Nothing's if there is nothing weird about that. That makes that idea that that mindset, or I guess the mentality of wanting to go away for 2 weeks and be away from all that makes 100% sense in a celebrity's life, or an influential person's life, a rich person's life.
Yeah.
But what doesn't make sense to me is that if it is either open information, how it's not more known, or
Because they pay, like I said a little while ago, there are people within the Grove that pay to keep it quiet.
These are not people who have to struggle to pull strings.
They
to like,
own the
okay,
market.
what could we do to make things go the way they want? It's like, whatever we're going to do by default is going to go in our way because we control everything.
Who are the most influential people to you?
I just
Like, what would you? Who would you
Aside
put?
from the people sitting at this table.
Besides the three of us.
Say I was already in the club. I would say they're probably people that wouldn't be in this club. I'm talking like extreme athletes, talking about like
Yeah, like Sean White,
like,
I don't think would be in it.
maybe a couple actors, like maybe a couple politicians that
But see, and I think that's the mindset where it's wrong. Most influential people who have the most money, there are people out there who have more money than actors, sports, athletes,
Yeah.
sports stars, whatever. It's the people who run the entertainment companies. It's the people who run the government. It's the politicians. It's those specific
I just
people.
said like politicians. Like I followed John Kasich. I followed Mitt Romney for a while. Like those kind of people that like have a huge following.
Right. It's those people who are in this Grove. It's not the actors. It's not the athletes. They're not influential. They're not going to do anything. It's the people who can make a difference, who own the fate
that
of
makes
our
sense.
world.
What you were just asking though is who
who you consider to be influential. So that's what I'm saying.
My person. Well, me obviously, my little small pool of who I give a shit about aren't these people, because I don't give a shit about influential.
Well, it's not who you give a shit about. It's about who you find to be, like, what your
who would
definition of
be?
influential.
Who do you think pushes the gears? Like,
it
who
would
moves the gears
it would
in your
have to
life?
be the people behind the scenes, the most, or the rich. I'm talking like Bill Gates. I'm talking like those people that I don't obviously follow.
Like, you have to imagine too
I
that
think we
within
all-
this group, there's probably, or within or outside this group, there's surely a number of people who are astronomically rich. Let's say Bill Gates, who would maybe not have any part of it, because they're like, no, fuck that. Like, Bill Gates is, he's a nice guy, gives money away, gives all his money away.
I agree.
So maybe there's people who are like, within the group, they're like, we have blacklisted these people because they would out us, blah, 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 blah. So it's maybe some people just aren't even,
it's
they're not even allowed.
The right amount of people.
The right people.
With the right amount of influence to actually control. You can have 27 people in a club, and you can, get rid of the Bill Gates and the Sean Whites and the Leonardo DiCaprios, and you can get the Donald Trumps and the Mitt Romneys and the Richard Nixons and all of those, and the Clint Eastwoods, like the people who have those values that fit what they're doing at Bohemian Grove.
Well, they need like all these different political parties, or hypothetically.
Yeah, they would need to have people who would, in my opinion, understand that they were above all of those political parties.
Right.
Yeah.
And by being in this group, they're circumventing the political parties.
They're speaking for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like they don't care about the political parties because those are the people they're keeping out, because those people don't have it figured out. All these people in the group are all obviously on the same page.
Yeah.
Even if they do identify with they have to publicly identify with a certain party or whatever.
So what you're saying is that if we can go away from that conversation, I think we could beat over the head. What you're saying, Taylor, is that essentially all political decisions, like all world decisions that we think we know, don't even fucking matter. It's actually what goes on in this Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah, like we have public answers, things that are publicly presented to us, and while those may be real, sure, they're probably all motivated by things that are going behind the scenes. Like, yeah, those people chose to do whatever they're saying they are doing right now. Like, oh, we're passing this law, we're doing this, signing this bill. Maybe those people did choose that, but they were motivated in some way from behind the scenes, influenced by this group.
That we'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know. And it might not be something like they put a gun to my head and I had to sign this. It's like they made the conditions perfect because they have everybody in every angle. They made the conditions as such to where that person had no choice. Like they would just naturally choose this succession of events that they did,
Yeah. And that's the craziest thing is like 2 weeks in July. So technically it's 2 weeks, but it's 3 weekends is what it is. You put 2,700 people, you split them up into however many cabins there are, and you have them all talk. From July, they can plan from July to July and say, okay, in the next year, this is what needs to happen. Okay, Donald Trump's president. Let's have him go after Amazon. Let's have them piss Stormy Daniels off and get the money situation all fucked up. Like, put the money in the right place, so that fuels the entertainment industry. Their ratings are up because it's all juicy and there's plot twists and
It's
all
like a
that
marketing
stuff.
team, essentially.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it is literally a giant PR team who's figuring out, okay, how can we make every industry happy? Like how can we, maybe someone from Amazon is there, and they're like, okay, well, if we go after Amazon, how do they come back from it? How does the president going after Amazon fuel the right people to affect the stock market, but also fuel Amazon to say, okay, we're going to put our best foot forward and we're going to change things too.
Yeah.
So everyone's winning and everything is planned. So it goes back to like the
Winning.
simulation of the simulation like we talked about last week. And we talk about the idea that Bohemian Grove is basically like this society of 2,700 people who's simulating how our world plays.
Right.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you could say that like the sacrifice is like, all right, let's say the sacrifice is 100% real. They
Yeah.
got to sacrifice someone. And let's assume that all these people are not hideous people, heinous people. They
Wait,
don't
who?
want to sacrifice
Okay.
people. But it's like, this is the rule. We have to sacrifice someone, although everyone is unhappy about it. We have to do this so we realize in plain sight, black and white, that sacrifice on all levels is like necessary for the outcomes that they're trying to make happen.
How do you? Can you explain that again? Like how can you put that?
Like making a real human sacrifice, like that is, you're talking about killing someone.
Yeah.
So you're making, whoa, that's a big decision, hardcore decision.
Like the biggest decision you can make.
Yeah, massive decision. So even all these people are like, they feel uneasy about it, but they know that by rule, they have to make the sacrifice. And possibly the reason for the rule is because they need to understand the purpose of sacrifice. So they're not bartering and negotiating. So when everyone is like trying to figure out what the right thing to do is, negotiating is not part of it. Because
It's understanding the
it's
meaning
an
of sacrifice.
understanding that I can't be selfish thinking that my way is the way to do it, and we negotiate something. It's like negotiating, in my opinion, is losing.
Right.
Like both parties lose in a real negotiation.
Yeah.
Like if you want A, I want C, B satisfies neither of us.
Yeah.
So we both need to know that we have to make a real sacrifice,
Yeah.
the deepest sacrifice to go with the correct answer, be it A or C.
So it's 2,700 people essentially watching, and like if they do this whole mummification thing where they put them in a coffin, they're not watching the person die. Like way back in the 1800s, they like actually the pictures that National Geographic have, like the body's exposed, like they are straight up like watching this person die. Whereas now they mummify the person, they put them in a coffin, and then they light the coffin on fire. So they're not watching
Which is weird
it
because
happen.
That was
Kinda
weird.
slightly humanize it, like make it slightly more human.
That's the weird.
Right.
Earlier, I didn't bring this up, but you just talked about it again. I find it weird because in ancient Egypt, when you mummified somebody post-death, it was believed that you could like preserve the bodies, the organs, the flesh, all that stuff into mummification. But what you described earlier was that when they burned this coffin, this person was yelling and screaming. So they're not dead when they mummified them. What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense.
No, they just wrap them
Well,
up
okay.
and put them so they burn faster.
So let's say that
Oh,
they are
interesting.
like, okay, there's some ancient knowledge that they have, and they want to take every precaution possible because they don't want to kill this person in a heinous way. They don't hate this person or whatever. They just know we have to make the sacrifice by rule, or else our whole foundation is lost. So
the understanding of how to negotiate.
Like the whole, even just the fact that like
Yeah.
past the negotiation part, it's like, okay, this is a rule. We have to follow the rule, no matter what that rule is. And as soon as they break it, the whole foundation is gone. So by taking it and making it slightly more humane without taking the basis of the sacrifice away, they're still making the sacrifice. They're still killing this person. So if they can make it slightly nicer for themselves to deal with, and maybe by mummifying it, they're thinking, okay, ancient thoughts are we mummify it, then this person is preserved in the afterlife. So maybe they're like doing it a favor.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to murder you, but
They're
this is
validating.
not because we hate you. This is because we have
It
to
has
do
to be
this,
done.
and we want you to live in the afterlife. Or
Well,
whatever.
it's so interesting about the sacrifice thing, like to know, because like let's just say they three of the cabins get together and they talk about it and they say, okay, well you're going to go after Amazon, and the president's going to go after Amazon. Cool, there could be repercussions there, but that's a part of the sacrifice. Like they can say that word. But by sacrificing an actual person, the 2,700 people collectively are sitting in the seats or whatever in the Coliseum, whatever the fuck it is, and they're watching and they're being reminded this is sacrifice.
Yeah.
This is you 2,700 are sacrificing this one person.
Yeah.
This is truly sacrifice. A life is being taken and sacrificed for you. this is real sacrifice. These little conversations of, if this happens and this goes the wrong way, we'll call it sacrifice. No, that's not sacrifice.
Right.
They need to see the omega to understand the small.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that mentality is on par. It makes sense.
This podcast is also sponsored by Future Monsters, a premier apparel store with pop culture and horror focus. Each product is handmade with quality materials, so not only does it look good, but it feels so good. No mass-produced cheap garbage here, with designs inspired by King Kong, the Wolfman, and much more. These shirts are a must for every occasion, whether it be nightclubbing, metal shows, weddings, and of course, our favorite, podcasting. Head over to futuremonsters.com and enter the code HYBRO, that's a capital HYBRO, at checkout to save 10% on your next purchase. We know we'll be doing that as soon as possible. Even if you pulled the sacrifice away from it, honestly, like if we took the sacrifice away and they didn't and it was all a part of the play, because they have like certain plays they do and they're fucking weird.
Because this is a fun time, it's a fun camp.
It's very Shakespearean.
It's
they're
like,
all dudes.
all dudes, like super Shakespearean.
Yeah.
If you pulled the sacrifice out and we just said, okay, maybe it is a play and maybe they are just screwing around and running around with their dicks out and whatever, because that's actually someone quoted that they're running around with their penises in their hand and like drinking beer in another hand, and like they're literally just running around being boys, but they're like old men.
I don't want to join this club anymore.
It's weird. It's real weird. But like, what if we took the sacrifice away and it was just a place where the most influential people got together and they were running the world, and like
that
that's
makes
why
more sense to me.
It's great because like I love the show Mr. Robot, and there are some twists in the show. There's a scene in the show where all of the world's wealthiest men essentially get together and they love and they hate each other. Some of them despise each other, but they're all running the world and they're picking and choosing every which way things should play out and would play out and should and can play out. And they're the ones who are running the world. It's not one person. It's not the White House running our country. It is this group of 2,700 people who are influential enough to actually run how everything goes, from police brutality to our president to like the
understanding of like aliens at that point. Like these people could essentially have knowledge so high above Area 51 or knowledge about the universe, the known observable universe, that they essentially drip fed or they give us the right amount of information that we can understand about out of Earth experiences.
Right. Which goes back to like last week about simulation. What if we aren't an actual simulation, but what if someone is simulating our world?
These 2,700 people essentially could be that person or that group.
If you pick, like, if they pick and say, okay, this is what news needs to break and this is the shit that needs to be huge, they're completely manipulating.
Yeah, you could argue that in itself is a simulation.
Yeah. So that's, if you really want your world fucked up, throw out the whole virtual reality thing and think about these 27 people who meet once a year for 3 weekends controlling how everything plays. That's going to mess you up.
Yeah, that messes me up more than the whole reality thing.
Like you stop and just sitting and thinking. Like I know Johnny will do it because that's the way Johnny's brain works, but he'll just be sitting at his computer like later this week and he's going to be like, oh, there are people that are controlling everything from one little compound in Monterey, California.
They're controlling the way I do everything.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Dope to be one of those people, though.
It would be dope. It would also be this is something we haven't discussed yet, a huge burden to bear. Imagine being the reason why people die, people succeed, the world works. Like, we're not talking about like being the leader of, and we've had wars over this, but being the leader of a country, being the leader of reality.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
Well, as far as like burden goes, and like exactly what you just said, which was like brilliant in its own way, is that like the burden of holding that, like being the reason, the power, like being the reason that like people have lost their lives and all that stuff. Like we all hold that burden.
Yeah,
like everyone does, and like we don't. A lot of us don't really know. I mean, we learn about it in like history class and stuff, but like a lot of us don't know that we hold the burden that people have given their lives to make sure that we're here.
Oh, sure.
And people have, and these people who have probably like fought to, and some of them probably didn't fight to get there. It just ran in the family. Some of the people who fought to get in this place and to be in Bohemian Grove, those people, they know that they made sacrifice and that burden is gone because they're like, I worked to get here. I deserve to be here. Who gives a fuck about anything else? Like, no one else matters. I deserve to be right here, and the burden is gone.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, the only burden is to take risks, and like in order to move society forward, you have to hit the reset button a couple times, and in order to hit the reset button, it doesn't ever go well.
Sounds like Thanos. I had the burden to essentially wipe out half the civilization. Like, am I the hero or the villain?
Both.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, in a way.
It's interesting. It's really hard to quantify because us as, just three normal dudes in our own mind, I could never even understand or even think to have that ability, let alone like nonchalantly do it every year. Like,
dude, I can like barely do my taxes. Like screwed making worldwide decisions, man. Yeah,
they don't even have to at that point. I feel like they don't have taxes.
Yeah, the biggest thing I think is like knowing, and this messes with me all the time.
Knowing's half the battle.
Knowing is half the battle. Knowing is the full battle. Is knowing that this is happening. I think that's what messes with me, is like knowing that this place will always exist because of money, and knowing that it will never be shut down, it'll never be raided, it'll never be investigated, nothing will leak out.
It's the biggest cartel. You can't infiltrate something that is in
owns
charge
the
of
world.
the infiltration.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to investigate it, they own me. If I wanted to hire an investigation team, they own the investigation team.
Right.
That's why cartels. That's why like mobs don't. They would work and would continue to work because they pay off the cops.
Yeah. Well, this is like the Malaysian flight. Like, what's so frustrating about that whole episode we did, and why I think we're finding that it's hard to talk like humorously about a lot of these things in these last few episodes, because the whole like false Paul thing. Sure, we don't know if that's true. We don't know. I mean, I believe that it is because I'm a crazy person, but Bigfoot, I'm a believer, but a lot of people aren't, and we don't have hard evidence, like hard solid evidence.
Not yet. It's gonna happen.
And crop circles, we have physical evidence, but like there is enough proof against it to say it's also not real. But the Malaysian flight, it's and even the virtual reality, the augmented reality last week. These are the podcasts that I think are like a lot harder to make it humorous, because there's that moment where you're just like, this is actually happening. Like Bohemian Grove exists. There's no doubt. I mean, this is a real place with an address, with a history, with members who have been to it, with politicians speaking about it publicly. This exists 150%. This is tangible. Malaysian flight, it was a tangible flight.
Yeah.
It was a real thing that existed, and it's gone. This is the stuff that's just crazy. And
it's not funny. It's serious.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
It's kind of funny imagining Teddy Roosevelt running around with a beer in one hand and his dick in the other.
Some of these people are pretty funny. Yeah, the idea of it was Teddy right that wrote the book about Bigfoot.
Yes.
All right, so it's kind of funny to imagine this guy being like a Bigfoot believer, like, and one end extreme, like believing in this, like, well, it's kind of a contradiction. Somebody that's believing in a mythical creature that apparently would be owning the mythical creature, he's just essentially a little bit of a loon, like you said, but also runs around with a dick in a hand. Like his influential dude has his dick in his hand. That's weird.
Right. Well,
everybody does weird things when they're alone. So.
With the women around.
It's all crazy, but I think it all comes down to it reverts right back to why we do this podcast. I think, like, sure, we can have fun. We can talk about Bigfoot and UFOs, and we can talk about all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like, there are things that aren't being talked about. Like, yeah, we're talking about what's on Netflix or what new shows on HBO or what Donald Trump is doing or, whatever. But we're not talking about certain things that are going unspoken.
Yeah.
Like this, for example, that a lot of people don't know about.
It is so weird that, someone can produce legit video, a video of it. Although it's Alex Jones and he's a crazy person, but it's weird that, potentially a video exists of it and it's still not like a really hot topic for people. Like most people just have never heard of it.
It was just swept under the rug. And they were, at the time when it came out, it was a big deal and everyone was talking about it and then just sort of disappeared. But Alex Jones dug his own grave.
Well,
and
honestly,
he did that himself.
Yeah. I feel like most people, like I feel this way, would probably just assume that when you've got a shit ton of money, then this is just part of your life. Like these kind of things happen. Like, oh, you're rich and you're not in some weird secret club?
Yeah.
You must be a weirdo.
Grass is not always
You know?
greener.
Yeah, like you just assume that these super powerful rich people are in some secret society that is pulling all the strings. I mean, I definitely think that.
Yeah, members only clubs have always existed forever. I mean,
And their
it's
jackets
normal.
are dope.
The jackets are so tight. But it all comes down to like, money. Like you know, if we're talking like cop movies and stuff, anytime there's some like mafia, there's like, if we go above and beyond to completely remove this from existence, it's basically us saying, yep, we did it. This is us. If this footage came out and then was removed, it would basically be a giant target being like, hey, guess what? We do human sacrifices and we do crazy shit with dicks and stuff.
But at that point as well, be like, and that's the reason why you live the life you live. Let us keep doing this, or you will not live the life you live.
Right. But then you'd have people who are, like super driven thinking like, well, I'm one of those people, so I'm going to start doing these crazy fucking things, and they can't stop me because I am one of these people, and I'm going to prove it.
Yeah. And someone actually, and to wrap us all up, in 2000, like a mummy, wrap it up like a mummy.
Little Brendan Fraser dog.
Oh, yeah. What a great movie.
In 2002, a 37-year-old man was arrested after a nighttime infiltration of the Bohemian Grove where he set several fires.
What year?
2002.
Oh.
He was heavily armed and wearing a skull mask and outfit with Phantom Patriot written across the chest.
Weird. Whoa.
That is the last known attempted infiltration of Bohemian Grove.
He was arrested and he's like in prison and shit?
Yep.
Damn.
Wow.
Well, at least they didn't kill him.
Or sacrifice
I wonder how they took him down. I guess there's security around the perimeter and shit like that, but I bet you security is not inside the Grove. You know?
Yeah, what would that be?
Yeah.
Unless they have their dicks out.
Unless they're part of the group, yeah.
Drinking beer and having dicks in hand.
Yeah,
Weird.
he's a crazy person, is what he is.
Well, I don't know. I think if I knew about this place and I knew there was a fact and I did something as crazy as that, it would make me on par with how crazy everything else is. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
That's
dude.
wild.
Kudos to the Phantom American, Phantom Patriot. It
takes balls to that.
Takes balls, cojones, huevos.
So in 2 years, Alex Jones and then this Richard McCaslin were the only two to attempt to infiltrate Bohemian Grove, and then that was it.
Little did they know we have 3 hypotheticals headed their way.
Well, I wonder how National Geographic got in there in 1912 or whatever, 1913.
I feel like they just might have been pictures from the yearbook that they've recovered.
Oh, got you, yeah.
Or the whatever it is.
Yearbook?
Hags, have a great summer.
Whoa, so the whole idea of Facebook came from these yearbooks.
Wow.
Is it possible that the guy with the skull mask was actually part of the Skull and Crossbones? Probably not, because George W. Bush was one of those, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah,
oh yeah, he was the Crossbones guy.
Yeah.
There should be a movie made about this for sure.
There is. It's called Skulls. Skull and Bones? What's it called?
Skulls, I think.
Skulls?
Yeah.
Huh.
Fucking super dope intro song. You should learn it on piano.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Haven't heard it in a long time, but I remember at the time when the movie was out.
Here comes Taylor again with his 90s movies.
Yeah, we're talking Napster time. So I was destroying Napster at the time. And I remember downloading the intro to that and listening to it over and over and over and over. It's probably not even very cool, but I remember it being some super intricate thing.
Once I learn it, you're listening to it over.
That's how we're going to open the next week's podcast with Johnny playing.
It's probably really simple. And it's, I don't know, I'll probably listen to it like, it sucks.
If it's not on the podcast, you knew I failed. Couldn't do it.
So if you guys have any idea about Bohemian Grove and you want to talk to us about it, I mean, we're not endorsing it at all, but I feel like we've really dug deep and tried to understand what might be going on behind those doors, but we'll never know. Maybe one day we will.
I'll openly endorse it. I openly endorse the idea of its existence.
Existence.
And that possibly, I'm not saying I could sacrifice someone, but if a sacrifice is what it takes to do whatever it is that they do, we have to condone it because it's making things happen, man. It's turning the wheels.
Yeah.
PSA, don't do human sacrifices.
Yeah, please don't sacrifice humans ever.
I can't validate the idea of sacrificing a human being the cause for the world to work, but I mean, to speak really, really horribly, the many outweighs the good of the few.
That's a good point.
You know,
that's a good point.
You some dark motherfuckers.
I'm sorry, man,
Hey,
but that's
man,
true. Like,
yeah.
that's the way it works, I guess. I don't know if it's there. I mean, I can't disprove it. The ideas you guys put forth, it sounds like it could possibly happen, but there's a lot of things that don't add up in my mind. They're too difficult to hide up or cover up, but and the grandeur of this, if these people control reality, I have no fucking responsibility. I have no way to disprove it if they can control my reality.
Yeah.
So I have no leg to stand on to say that it's not real.
Well, you never did, because
Thanks.
I am here, and I have the only legs to stand on.
Because you have
Solipsism.
Solipsism.
I'm
That's what it was.
sopolistic.
Sopolistic.
Solipilistic.
That's a dope word. Sopolistic.
pretty dope.
Espialidocious.
So here we are at the end of another crazy episode
Episode
yet
9.
again. It's episode 9, and guys, we're left dumbfounded again with no answer except just a hypothetical answer that we have collectively made up.
We have found dumb.
Yeah.
Dumbfounded.
we have found dumb. So maybe next week we're gonna get closer to digging into another mysterious topic and finding an answer. Maybe we will hit one. Maybe we'll have an answer. Maybe some news will come out that will warrant a topic that will have an answer, and that'll be pretty cool if we get to the bottom of it. But now, 9 episodes in, 9 weeks, we have another episode without an answer.
Chances are, statistically, if we keep going at this, we're going to get to the bottom of something.
And I can't wait for that to happen. So keep
Who knows
listening.
what that topic's going to be.
Watch it be Johnny, the one who's like, guys, I got it. And then like the day after the episode drops, it actually is the truth.
Guys,
Like, damn it, Johnny.
Let me take the wheel for this one. Holy fuck!
Pulitzer Prize winner.
Johnny creates a black hole when he hosts an episode.
Oh my gosh, watch that happen. You guys don't take any notes. Just me talking the whole episode.
Right. Yep.
Yep. Let
You're
it
going to
go.
have to play this episode at half speed to understand anything he
Slow it
says.
down.
Disconnect my mic, so it's just me going with no audio track.
Got a hypothetical you guys want us to talk about, or a thought you'd like to share with us about today's episode? Good news. You can do that in one of two ways. You can either shoot us an email at hybrothoughts@gmail.com. Johnny, you want to spell it out for me?
Oh gosh, HYBROTHOUGHTS
At gmail.com. He did it. He did it
That
without
was
even looking at paper.
a lot more pressure than I thought it was.
He's like, oh God.
When I watched Nick do it, I'm like, what a pansy. And I'm like, no, fuck.
He texted me. He was like, you spelled hybro. You spelled thoughts wrong in hybro. And I was like, no, I didn't. And I queued it up. And it was like THUGHT.
Good Lord.
Hybro thuts.
Hybrotheticals.
Yeah, so who knows if you shoot us an email, you could be featured on next week's episode. If you have any news as well, we'll read it and we will credit you via your Twitter handle, your name, your first and last name, your blood type, whatever you want. Just let us know. Also, make sure to head over to the Facebooks and give us a like at facebook.com/hypothetical thinking. That's facebook.com/hypothetical thinking. If you don't know how to spell it, you're not listening to our podcast. So guys, next week.
I'm stoked about it.
I'm almost ready.
Yeah?
Give me like 6 more days. And I'll be ready.
It's
Tight.
good news, because that's probably then.
Great news.
You have 6 more days.
Coming. All right, guys. What's been another one? Johnny, I love you, bud.
Nick, I love you. Taylor, I love you. I also love myself.
I love you guys. I
Well-
hate myself.
Oh, man.
On that note, I've been Johnny.
I'm Taylorius.
And I'm Nick. And you know what? Johnny and I, this has been a journey.
Yeah, it has.
We loved each other. We hated each other.
Yeah, we did. We
And
also
now- And now we're right back. Guys, this is what friendship's all about.
Hey, that's what summer camp's all about. You know, first day, first week, these guys don't know each other. They might hate each other. Man, this guy's annoying. They're not like my last roommates. Little would you know, 2 weeks later, they've sacrificed women and children, possibly males. They've worshipped owls. They've drank beers with their dicks out. And now Johnny and Nick are best buds.
Let's not say we've done that, but it could have happened.
Hanging out with our dicks out. And we
Sun's
just
out,
lost.
dicks out.
What's that? Oh, hang on, my phone's ringing. Hello? Oh, we just lost a sponsor, guys. All right.
All right. Much love, guys.
Oh, goodbye.
Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.